It's Sunday, April 22nd. My name's Blaise, and welcome to the Drive-By Movie Entertainment News of last week. First off, we have it The Walking Dead season finale most recently for season 8 is down viewership. They usually clock in a ton of viewers, but it was recently only 7.9 million viewers. I know that sounds still like a lot, but The Walking Dead has truly been a powerhouse in the silver screen, and it's not clocking in the same amount of viewers. Yeah, that doesn't mean the obituary should be written soon, but it used to be able to throw a rock into a crowd and it would most likely hit a Walking Dead viewer in the side of the head. But this might not be no more. Only 7.9 million viewers isn't as many. Maybe The Walking Dead might be closing out soon, or they might be trying to do something different to bring in more viewers. We'll see as this story develops in the future. Next up, continuing with our horror news, we have that Paramount is set to remake Pet Sematary. This is old news, but they're actually eyeing Jason Clarke for the lead role. This is interesting. Jason Clarke was most recently in Winchester and Chappaquiddick. I wouldn't say that either of those movies are, exemplary or, demonstrating his talents. But I think that leading the Pet Sematary remake would be a great move for his career. I know he's a great actor. I loved him in Zero Dark 30. And I think that this might be the next step forward. As for a Pet Sematary remake, I don't know if this is the right way to go, but being that Paramount has the rights, I know that since it was such a success, they kind of want to keep rolling with that Stephen King train and think that that is going to be the way of the franchise's future. So Pet Sematary is going to be remade. Whether Jason Clarke will be in the lead role, we'll see, but currently right now he's being circled. Blumhouse is set to bring the story of the Craigslist killer to TVs and cinemas soon. This movie is going to be based off a magazine article from the New York Magazine called The Worst Roommate Ever. This is the story of Alex Miller, who let Jed Creek into her Philadelphia apartment. While Jed Creek wasn't really his name, he was truly Jameson Bachman, a notorious serial squatter who knew all the legal rights of squatting and how to basically finagle the system, work around it, but also he was a serial killer. So this is it's somewhat of a notorious story. I know a lot of people do know of the Craigslist killer, whether they know the exact details of what went down. We're going to find out, but at least this will be they're making a murder style show that would be like a documentary, explaining everything that went on, and then also a film that's going to be, a narrative story of this serial killer and Craigslist killer. I don't know if I'm necessarily looking forward to this one, but we'll see. I like that they're making a, true crime series version of it. I'm not necessarily sold on the Blumhouse film version, but you never know. This could be the next Get Out. If it deals with social media in an interesting way and kind of shows the dangers of it maybe, but not in such a preachy way, this could be really interesting. Last up, we have that Steven Spielberg is set to produce his first DC film. This might not actually be a superhero movie, but it's based on the comic book Blackhawk. This is a old comic that's dates back to Superman days and wasn't as greatest selling as maybe Superman, but it entails the story of this ace fighter pilot during World War II, Blackhawk, and how he leads the Blackhawks to victory in World War II. I'm interested to see where this goes. Steven Spielberg producing this DC film and might possibly be directing as well. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is totally a DC film. It just comes from the huge copious amounts of DC comics. So it's not necessarily part of the superhero DC universe. I don't know, what do you call it? Is that the DC universe? I don't know. But anyways, this is going to be basically a World War II fighter pilot movie. I think it might be interesting. We'll see. I find it more interesting, though, that Steven Spielberg is all in at Warner Brothers. It seems like his home used to be Universal, but now he's making films from Warner Brothers like Ready Player One and also Blackhawk. Hopefully he will direct this one because I think that might be very interesting. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this week's Drive-By Movie Entertainment News of last week. Come back next week for the Drive-By Movie News of next week. That's April 29th. See you guys then.